Alright guys, so I have successfully drilled the transfer tube to 1/8 of an inch opening. So here's how I did it. I was overthinking this originally. I can show you here. I really buggered up this short one. It works fine, but I will end up redoing it now. You can see how I chewed that up. Well, my vice grips, they just weren't gripping very good, no matter how tight I got them. So the plan was to use a 3-jaw drill chuck on one end and then drill in the other. So the 3 jaws providing a nice evenly distributed clamping force. Well, that didn't work out. Turns out I was overthinking this from the beginning. This one's a little short, so I don't know if I could have done the same thing, but I'm gonna try. Pregnant worm, hockey tape. I just wrapped hockey tape on here super tight. I made sure I wiped this brass tube clean so that it adhered well to it. It wrapped it tight and fat. And then I grabbed it with my vice grips. I didn't snap the vice grips in, I just clamped them on, and then I used by hand. I adjusted the tightness of the vice grips like as tight as I could by hand. So no mechanical force. And I drilled first with a 7/64 drill bit. I went in one direction as deep as I could, and I'm holding this in the middle with the pregnant worm. Then I drilled the opposite side, the same thing, as deep as I could. Then I switched to a 1/8 drill bit and repeat the process. Drilled as deep as I could, drilled as deep as I could. That left about that much in the middle where it turns out my vice grips are gripping. So that works out well because then I don't really have a chance of deforming this tube by crushing it. And once that was complete, a 1/8 by 6" drill bit is what I used, and just went all the way through. So I'm really only just connecting the 2 dots here. And I will say I am quite pleased. Tube looks brand new. Got a nice big hole down the center. Will it do anything? Well, DK's video proved during his particular tuning session that it did. I've never tested this, so I'm stuck at 45, 48 joules. Let's see, will this dump more CO2? I'm hoping for more liquid transfer is what I want. This marker loves liquid, so that's what I'm hoping to accomplish here, guys. Okay, it's a new day. Long transfer tube, brass transfer tube drilled to 1/8, short transfer tube drilled to 1/8. Really, the only thing left I could drill is the actual puncture valve, but let's see how this one goes first. Grimberg Joule V2, 8 grams. Nothing. Oh, I should mention that is the factory bolt spring in there, and factory bolt as well. Interesting, right? No gains. Guys, this shows a very important thing about a bypassed marker. A bypassed marker has no regulator spring. No regulator spring means no chance of having a weak regulator spring, and a weak regulator spring will result in reduced velocity. In this case, my marker was already maximized. Drilling the tubes showed no difference, no gains. You could argue maybe even a loss, but I think that slightly reduced velocity is probably more temperature related. Bypasses are not for everyone. I shoot only kinetic projectiles, and in most cases I am metering my air in some form to keep power to, we'll call it a reasonable level. In this case, I'm searching for 50, not necessarily a reasonable number, but a bypass was necessary to get there. Now, if you were trying to balance the CO2, you know, and you wanted, say, a bunch of 30 joule shots or 20 joule shots, or you were shooting frangible ammo like pepper balls or paintballs, a regulator is an awesome thing. It does exactly what it's supposed to, and you can more precisely meter the air that's going into your marker, which equates to the output of your marker. In this case, mine is already probably running full tilt. So that's why I didn't see anything from drilling these tubes. Will I see something if I were able to increase the volume of the air chamber? It's quite possible. You know, things start to add up as you move along in the chain. But right now my roadblock is the air valve. So I'm gonna have to have another poke in there and see if there's anything that I can do to just squeak the last 2 joules, and then I can call it done. I can go through the marker with you guys and show you exactly what I've done. I still will do that, but I'm gonna have to settle on less than 50 if that's the case, and that's not gonna happen this easily. You'll just have to stay tuned for more, I guess.